the end in mind of our meeting today.
Yeah. Right.
Our meeting, what do we want to see accomplished today by doing these weekly report forms? What are we hoping to accomplish by doing this? What do we want our forms to look like? What do we want it to do?
Were you gonna ask if we have a scribe?
Oh,
Do we even have a page?
do we have?
Oh.
We do have a page. It's under Diana, Enoch.
It'd be easier if you say keywords. Those aren't.
Keywords.
Yeah, those aren't keywords.
How about meeting agenda? 1-2 weekly report.
No dash, no periods, no numbers. Just weekly report leading.
Now you see what
There,
I'm
it's
about
right there.
navigation.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, Diana,
Did you hear what I said though?
Yes, you said no periods and no dashes.
No. After that,
Nope.
weekly report leading. Those are keywords.
Oh, okay.
Because leading is in there. That's unique. That's not going to be in like every page.
Okay.
Diana would be on hundreds of pages. The weekly report would probably be on
Many
50
of them.
pages. But weekly report leading, you just narrowed it down to.
But we don't have
One.
anywhere leading in it anywhere.
Yeah, it's at the top. You're only searching the title.
I know.
I guess
didn't
you
say
changed
leading
the
in.
title.
What? He changed the title?
No, did you change the title?
I am.
No, I didn't change the
Am I
title.
on the right page
So-
anymore? Mine
So
doesn't
then
say
this
leading.
is not the right page that she's on
then I'm
then?
not on the right page
Oh.
then.
The one
Which
she's on the
one?
right she's on the page that you were on before.
I thought I deleted this. Oh, wait.
Is this not good now?
No, that's what I'm on. I don't know what's going on here.
Maybe you need to update it.
This is strange. We have two of them. Mine looks just like
I didn't
that.
make mine. That's good news.
Mine looks like that.
Maybe I just need to refresh mine. Maybe something changed this.
Did you change the title?
No, I didn't touch the title. This is what it was when I joined.
Yeah, mine doesn't say that anywhere in it. So I must not be on the same page. There must be two of them. So I must not be on the same page you're on.
Carmen, can you scroll down?
Control P. And what'd you say that lead
Oh.
word was?
Oh, no, not that. Not that. Did I just X out of it?
Is this the wrong one?
Yeah.
Did he say leading?
No, I'm sorry. I gave him the wrong title.
Just type in weekly report form meeting.
You're right, Diana.
Oh.
Weekly report
You're
form
right.
meeting.
Can you help me? Now I'm very confused.
Weekly report
Control
form
V?
meeting.
Control P. Control
I know it has the word agenda, yeah.
Weekly report form meeting.
Your keywords, Diana, were actually very good with the meeting agenda in it.
Was it me?
Yes. No.
Oh.
No, you did say
Okay.
it.
Agenda.
The words that you said, meeting agenda,
Report.
would have got him there.
Okay.
You just need a space.
There's no dashes or periods.
Yeah, no dashes, periods, or not, probably not numbers either. That's the only difference. Good. Okay, so
Yes.
I'm excited. So
Me
the
too.
end in mind is what we're really looking at. We really want to look at the end in mind, what we want to accomplish by these reports. What do we want to see happen with these reports? Does anybody have a suggestion?
with the reports or with this conversation?
Well, the whole thing
Both.
is to kind of brainstorm so we can revamp a little bit. Not that we want to change the forms itself, but
Yeah.
we want to see what we want to accomplish by these forms. What is the aim that we're trying to hit with these reports? For instance, one thing that I see that the reports are specifically used for, that are important for us, is to to fill the pulse of where people are at, if they're struggling, if they're not struggling. And my big one for this meeting in particular is that our leaders are communicating with their people. To me, that is really important. That's one thing that is, by doing this, is going to change the ministry, is that our leaders are working with their team and keeping a pulse on their team. Because as the ministry grows, it's going to be higher for the ministry up here to know what's going on down here.
Yeah.
That's not down here, but over here.
Right.
Not down there, but over there. So in order to do it, is as the stair steps keeps going up and up and up, it's easier to have other people be responsible for their department. As that the bubble's pushing us up, each one of us, as we're growing, it pushes things up. So that's what I would like to see from this whole meeting, is so leaders can have a pulse on their team. So that's why I was thinking maybe we have to have 2 reports, possibly 3 reports from different departments. Not different departments, but different teams. but then I call them departments because then you have HR, that's like a department, but,
HR is a department,
okay,
but the onboarding is a team
Right.
under the HR department.
okay, good. We're on the same vocabulary topics, then we're on that same page.
Terminology.
Terminology, thank you, Kamran. Verbiage also was
It's
another
all-
word for it.
Yeah, all those words.
Yes.
Jargon.
What'd you call it?
Jargon.
Jargon, yes. Very important because if we all have different ones, it's not going to work. Okay, so Enoch, what are you wanting to see through this meeting? What do you want to accomplish? What do you hope this will accomplish?
To this meeting, I'd like to update the. I want the questions. I want to have one system that is integrated in all of our different locations, be it the account book, the debriefing, the evaluation.
So they all interlink or are on the same page that you can just toggle, or what are you saying?
What I mean is that they're all consistent with the question, like the format of the question. Because right now we've got like 3 different systems. We got a system from the Virtual Freedom report form, weekly report. We got the system from James Prefrio, and the system from Alex Sharfin. I think we got those main 3 systems, and what I'd like to do is, like, a lot of them are the same question worded differently. So I'd like to word all the same, like the things with the same, like the question, the same outcome of the same question. I want them all to have the exact same wording across our account book, our report form, and our debriefings. That's what I'd like
That's
to see.
important.
So that throughout
Yeah.
the whole ministry, we understand it's not just like disconnected, like review, but it's one review system that we're all, like, our brains are thinking in terms of that system.
I agree. That would help. So that we're all using the same verbiage, actually, really, when we're communicating. It will cause that.
Yeah.
So we have different ways, okay? So whatever forms that we do create, they will have to be used in every department, or every team. And also on the,
Account book.
yes, on the
Yeah.
account book and in the
The
leadership
report.
areas such as HR and those departments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call them departments. Okay, so that's good. Tina, are you on the list here to see? No. Kathy, what do you want these reports to achieve?
I just want to know how to do my job better.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. Doing a great job. Let me just tell you now, you're doing a good job. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, and also what I want to accomplish from this team, from this meeting is to identify a rhythm, like a cadence for who fills out the report forms and by when.
I agree, 100%. This is something definitely, let's nail that today. Perfect. Thank you.
And I also want to figure out a system, not just for filling it out, but like you were saying, for the leadership to review their
Team?
their team
Yes.
reports.
That's going to really, really change everything in the ministry. It really is.
Yeah,
It really is.
and you basically said that too at the beginning.
It's always good to have different ways of looking at it because somebody might miss a word or add a word that might make a difference. Change
That's true.
everything. Kamran, you're on the list here. What do you see, what do you want this meeting to accomplish? What do you see that needs to be done or would you like to see changed or whatever? What would you like to see this meeting accomplish?
Me?
Yes.
See.
I'd like to leave this meeting hydrated.
You better do that now. Lunch is coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to also stay hydrated. That's good. Let's see, what else would I like? I'd like to just get these questions decided.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. Let's just jump on it right now.
'Cause I think I'm gonna be the one updating them.
Okay. Brother, thank you so much. Okay, let's move on.
No, not for the debriefing.
Okay.
I think there's this, right?
Okay, let's start
I'm
with.
just much.
Sorry.
Well, she doesn't know that.
No, she
updates the template. She knows that's her responsibility.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take
Oh,
her
I thought
job.
you meant for this meeting. I'm like,
No, not for this meeting.
No.
am I supposed to
You're
be doing
free.
some?
No, you're good. We got 4 people on this one. We might ask you for advice on some stuff as a leader, if you're in here.
I'm not gonna take your job this time.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump right in there.
Let her fail.
Enoch, where should we begin right now?
Oh, let me just go over. I put together an agenda just for
Yes,
some
you did.
quick questions.
Yes.
I'll explain that real quick. One question to ask is, this is a question we got to do. A decision. Should we have one report form, one weekly report form, and then, like Alex Sharfin does, is coach our leadership team how to read it correctly? Or should we have 2 report forms, one for, I guess, for like, lack of a better term, like technicians, the entry level positions, and then another report form for leadership? Yeah, I know what you want, because that's where you brought up the question.
But my question is, your thing, if you want all the forms to say the same thing and be on the same jargon, then all the forms would, are you saying you want all the forms, even for the technician, everybody that fills out, everybody to have the exact same wording? So none of the forms change, they all say the same thing? Doesn't matter what, if you're a technician, or if you're a leader, or if you're administrative? Do you want them all to say the same thing? I thought that's what you were saying. You want them all to say the same thing, every one of those. But just a different, so I would be interpreting what you're really wanting then is that people be able to read their reports better.
This question was before I communicated that.
Oh, okay,
This question was written
yeah,
during the weekly meeting.
gotcha.
What we've I'd really like to go over the agenda, and then we could we can go into depth on it. But maybe write down your question. The second question is: should we have a cascading communication for team leaders to keep track of the people, or I think we could all agree that yes, that would be the best way to go. But more of the sense of how can we intentionally design that cascading communication in relation to this report form? That's probably a better question. And some of this is a little repeat, but just so it's here. And then the when, that's basically the dates for when the this is what it sounds like what Alex Sharfin was doing, and he coaches his foundation. He coaches his
I like that like that.
Yeah.
Thursday technicians, Friday leaderships, after Sabbath, Enoch, the entire team, read report. That's pretty good. I think that's a good setup right there. Anyway, go ahead.
No, okay, good. And then the next one is having the technicians read the report form. Oh, this is why. Will help teach them to see how to submit their report form better. I realize that if, a lot of them are like, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but if they just read their submissions of some others, they'd be like, oh, that's what's expected of me here. That would answer so many questions. And then, how do we keep track of people who are not submitting the report forms? For instance, new recruits or squad leaders or people, there's some things that change or vary, and be able to help Kathy to find a system that helps her to know when someone new or someone different should be filling out the report form.
Yes.
Because we don't have anything clear way right now. Go ahead.
I would think that the onboarders should be getting a name to Kathy of who the reports need to be sent out to. As people are being onboarded, she needs to have a copy of that.
That's brilliant.
And it could be a different title, so it's easier for her to navigate instead of having to go through her whole list. It could be on Messenger. It could be Kathy onboarding. No, not Kathy onboarding, because she does onboarding for the other stuff. Kathy, something to do with onboarding, so that when she sees that, she knows it'll only be new names. And it should always have a date out beside it so she knows if she's done it or not when a messenger comes to her. So it'd be easier for her to navigate it through that. Like if somebody sent me a list and I had to go through all the different things, but if I know something has my name on it, I know to always look for these
A lot of times what Kathy does when she gets a message on Messenger, she's really on point with not losing track of things.
Oh, awesome.
She like often writes it down in her own system, and she has
Oh, okay.
paper.
So that would make it easier to have a new subheading on Messenger just for Leah and myself to get a hold of you. Just say, hey.
When you say
Jordan-
subheading, you mean group chat?
Yeah, group chat.
Oh,
Group chat.
I see what you're
So
saying.
it'd be easier for her to just so that other people know exactly where they need to add it to, and then Kathy knows to always go on there every day when she's getting ready to do her things, and it'll be right there right at her fingertips, right there in front of her. She can just sit it out. I don't know if that'd be easier or not.
Group chat with Leah and your name on it, because
Mhm.
you're the ones that do the onboarding of the
Mhm.
volunteers. That makes sense
Would
to
it be
me.
easier for you to just have it right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that way if I get something from a group chat from you guys, I know that that's what needs to be.
Okay.
That's a
Awesome.
great suggestion.
So can we put that on there? Send that to Kathy?
It would make it much easier.
I don't know how to word it. You guys know how to word it on Messenger.
Do you have any suggestions how to word it, Carmen?
Something to do with
My brain
Messenger.
is kind of going.
Title for Messenger to Kathy, or you know, onboarding title to Kathy. Okay. What did he not call that, Conroy? When you wanted to do a new title on Messenger, a new chat thing, what's that thing
Oh,
called?
outside it. We don't have to figure that out now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just thought I had a name so I could put it in my head.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know. Could we just call it AY report forms?
Well, in other words, that's what you're already going to name it on there? Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
No, because it's not an AO report forms. The word messenger is on it, but I don't know what those things are called. I don't know what all those things are called.
The titles
I'm in
of
the-
the
oh, titles?
groups.
Titles of the groups.
group, yeah.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
But
Titles of
do you want the group title to be AOI report forms? Or is there something more that encapsulates the vision of the group?
For me, it'd be easier if I saw Kathy's name in the front of it. So when I happen to dig through and figure out who to send it to or where, it's easier for me. I were like Kathy, and then you could put Kathy, onboarding, whatever. Not onboarding, but what you said, wherever you said that, as long as you put Kathy in front of it.
Can I put it behind it?
Oh, behind it. So at least when I see it, I know which one it is because it's easier for me to navigate if I know people's names sometimes than just
So
departments.
for Kathy?
Yeah. So I don't know, it gets for her. It's easier for me.
Okay. We can change the title if we need.
Thank you. Okay. So you already just did that, so I guess we checked that off. Okay. Praise the Lord. We already got one thing done. Okay. Okay, so which one do we want to address next? Enoch. We went through those questions. Which ones do you want to address next? Let's get them through.
Okay, so you had feedback for the first checkbox?
Okay, yes. Should we have them report form and coach our leadership team how to read it correctly? So are you saying, I was understanding you were saying you'd want one report for the entire ministry is what I was catching you to say. That's what I comprehended you to say. Was that you wanted everybody to be using the exact same report with the same jargon and the same everything so there's no communication.
So if there's camaraderie.
Yes, I think that's what I heard you saying you wanted done.
I think that would be best.
I would say it would be best. Let me ask you one question then. With that, what about technicians? Will they have other things that need to be on their report than it would be for other people? Or is there a way to word?
You're saying privacy wise?
No.
Oh.
On their report, because I always think of different departments having specialty needs that need to be addressed in their department, and so in order to keep a pulse on it, it's easy. I would think it would have been easier to have the basic report, but on the same token, be able to have a little bit specialized for their department. So if they're struggling, they can say, "Hey, yeah, in Comron's department, we have this and this is where we're at on this and this." So it might help them to fill in the blank easier and faster than trying to just have a broad picture, because you might get a broad answer. You know what I'm talking about? And broad answers, that's what I do a lot of times. I just put like nope, or yes. That's my answer, because it's so broad. But if it's tailored, for a department, a lot of times they can fill it in so you can really understand what's going on with that person.
My question is, like, maybe we should cross the bridge when we get there, or see like an specific example. But I think that goes along with that concept of coaching people how to fill out the report form correctly, because there's absolutely no training provided for anyone to know how to fill it out.
Okay.
And part of the confusion is, like, one, that's something to fill out when you're looking at, like, it's to be accompanied with the account book, so that as you're going through that, you're reviewing your week, you're seeing what you did, you saw where you struggled, and then what you need to move forward. And if someone has if they're a technician, then they have a very niche responsibility scope, so it's very, like, direct to, like, it.
So you're saying let's stick to the form of what we already have because it's working. But we'll just incorporate new people into this same form and just train them how to use it. Is that what you're saying? Because that's what I'm hearing you say.
What I'm saying is, that I think if we coach people how to fill out the form, then the way that the questions are worded are applicable to a higher level or a lower execution level for the technicians, and it can encapsulate them as long as they have the right coaching how to fill it out.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do leaders, or in general, do people get in a hurry and so they just jot down whatever they can real quick, but you really don't keep a pulse on it because they are not really answering specific questions, so they're just putting down information?
The only leaders or people who would do that are people who have not been trained how to fill out the form.
Okay, that answered my question. Thank you. And for the future, because I heard you mention people are using their account books, will all of our new onboarders or the people that are going to be filling out, first of all, who do we want to fill out our report forms? Is it every person that's registered with the Army of Youth that is actually in service? Because I think that's who should be filling out these forms. Every person in the team, like all these people that are working in the ministry needs to be filling out this form. Even new on-comers, if they're trained from the very beginning to get that on their checklist, and they say, well, I don't have anything put on there. Well, good, now we know that they're not working on anything. They might even add a note on there. It's like, I would really like to be working in this department. I'm like, oh, great, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's just covering more bases in a little bit easier way.
It's another touching point, or giving them an opportunity to let us know. Yeah, I think it's good. In the Virtual Freedom Book, it says that you should have every new person on there doing a daily report form for the first 30 days. But I found the daily is a lot harder for new people, and that's probably more when you're paying them, like part-time or full-time. But weekly seems more reasonable. But we get people to fill out the report form who really aren't doing anything, and they're not really, like, they signed up for the enlist form, but they aren't volunteering or using any of their time doing stuff. But
and it might be our fault because we haven't found where we need to put them in. So it gives us an opportunity to reach out. When we see that report form and it's empty, it just has nothing there, that is the team leader's responsibility to get a hold of that person. It's like, oh, or if there's no team on there, we'll see it on there. They don't even know where they belong, which is great. So now we've done two things in one shot.
So you're suggesting to put on there what team that they're on?
Yeah, and if they don't have a team, it's okay. Every person should get a report form. Every single solitary person is registered with the Army of
What would that look like for Cameron, who's on, like, multiple teams? Would he just list out all the teams?
I think with him, like, if you're on different teams, it should. You said you only want to have one master copy go out, right? One master copy goes to everybody. So, Comron, like you said, that was where you came in and said, well, we'll have to have a training on how to fill out the thing. So, Comron, it would seem like he would get 3 reports, but it won't work that way. So he'd only have to do it on one. So like you said, if we're training people, then we would have that part of the training process as if you're head of different departments or in different departments. You would have to, I think maybe on the form, it should have other departments on there. It should, because there's 2 or 3 people wearing many hats. So we want to accommodate everybody, and we want to not have to read through their whole thing to figure out what they're talking about. So if on the form, that's something the form has to change a little bit, is to put on what team you're on. So that when Cameron does it, he can say, this team, this is where we're at with this, and work it all the way across it. this other team I'm on, this is what, but it's all on the same form. But at least we can keep a pulse on every team that he's working on and where they're at and what they're doing and what he's doing on that.
So maybe we could just have core teams, like a higher level concept of the teams, and have check boxes or like check all that apply to the teams that you're on, and then kind of be like slide design.
But are you going to be able to, when he fills it out, that it doesn't all mesh together? Like, oh, I did all this week. It needs to be separated of what team he did what on, right? I'm going across the board like this. Sorry.
Yeah, I can see what you're
But-
saying.
So it doesn't like instead of him just dropping down, it's like, what did you get accomplished this week? And he just makes a whole bunch of lists. That's too much for us or anybody that's helping or looking at the reports to say, oh, that's a lot of information.
I think the only people that would do that with is people who have a lot of responsibilities. And if people have a lot of responsibilities and they're making a good sized list of what they're doing, then whoever they're reporting to has even more responsibilities and they have a better overview, and it wouldn't be too much. Because I don't see someone who's like only doing slide design making a big old list of unrelated things.
No, and you wouldn't, but that's what I'm saying. If it's on the form, like what department are you with?
As far as the technical side, I find it difficult, unless Carmen could think of something, I find it difficult to differentiate like that. I don't see how that would be practical, just technically as far as the tools that we have available. Although like I understand what you're saying in the sense like this seems ideal, like that would be nice.
Is that hard to do, something like that? Like just add an extra line to the form? Is that why it's so hard? Because we have to add a line to the form?
Well, it's not just adding the line. It's like they give us a set of tools, and basically with the function and features they have, we're able to use. And I don't know of any feature that they have that would allow us to do what you're describing.
Just to add a line in there. Okay.
Would you guys like to keep?
Do you know the one that could be added that makes it simple to add to, just so a person could put their hats down there on it? So it'd be easier to fill in what got accomplished that week in that department? For their own self? Not for their whole team, but for themselves?
I mean, aside from just writing it out themselves,
Okay. So there is none. Okay.
nothing's come to mind.
Okay. Well, then we'll just have to adjust. Or do we need a new form? Is there a form out there that works better? That's a better form than this one? Or is it the only one that Notion offers us?
We're doing it on Google.
Oh, we're doing it on Google? And okay. Well, that's the handicap I have. I'm not able to.
I think again, the problem that you're facing is a matter of just lack of coaching. Like if you're coached to understand what you're reading, then it's not going to be a problem.
That's true. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, as a ministry grows, you're going to want something very quick and easy to look at. You're going to, like for instance, if I'm thinking, man, how is the quilt card team doing? I want to be able to look at it at a glance. I will be looking at whoever's in charge of that department, the team leader.
If you're coach, you can know the hotkeys you need to press to look at it as a glance. And just, I mean, the very nature of a spreadsheet allows you to take a lot of information and quickly just summarize to what you need.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just you don't have the coaching to know how to do that.
Oh,
It's not the
I
problem
see.
with the form, it's the skill.
Oh, okay.
And you could train the skills.
Well, maybe somebody could show me that because, yeah, I haven't seen that yet, so that would be good. Okay, so maybe that's it. 'Cause
And one thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to get the submissions off of Google Spreadsheet onto Notion. I think that would be helpful too, because you don't have to learn
so you don't have
Google
to open
spreadsheet.
1,000 pages just to look at one little thing that you're doing. It's all going to be right there in front of you because it's a spreadsheet.
no, what I'm saying is instead of opening Google Spreadsheet
Uh-huh.
and using Notion for everything else, we're going to have everything get submitted into Google Spreadsheet. It syncs with Notion, so it's just like a Notion table that we can go through. And
Okay.
it would be easy.
So I'm just trying to figure out how we can do things where, like right now, it's real easy to read the reports on Google. But if they're on Notion, will we have to open page after page after page after page after page after page just to look at one thing? So, like if I want to know about the quilt card team, do you have to open up a bunch of pages to say, okay, Tina's in charge of that, so she's the head and she has her information, and then Johnny's below her.
It's gonna
and
look like the same format,
Same
just
format.
easier.
Just easier.
With more of the Notion features, because Notion just gives us more flexibility to narrow down exactly what we're looking for.
Okay. Okay. So,
I think we're getting more hung up on,
Yes,
on the
let's not
structure.
get hung up,
We
yeah.
need to focus more on
I
what
agree,
the
let's
questions
go.
are. And Carmen, you know what would be really helpful? If you could gather the questions for some, for the report form, for these toggles down below, we could like see them and look at them.
We have a lady from our
It would be
that
helpful to know. how to
Squad leader
reword them.
weekly report form. Well, it sounds to me, what I'm hearing said right now,
her name is
that we like our report form. Our report form, we don't want to update that because it's what we want. It's meeting all of our needs. We just have to be able to read them and understand them. So we need a course on how to read and understand them and how to see them at a glance so we know where we're at.
Teach
So-
people how to read.
Yeah. So we like our report form, so we don't need to change that. And we have our schedule of when things are need to be sent out.
So
Which
we,
is-
we like that. Thursday the technicians, Friday leadership.
I
and
think it's great.
after Sabbath myself.
Yep.
Okay.
And so
What do you think about that, Kathy?
It's practical.
Okay.
It does.
So my question is too, on Thursday when the technicians, we need to leave a note underneath there on technicians on Thursday that the leaders go to wherever we're supposed to go to look at our team so we can do our report. So that needs to
By
be,
Friday,
yes, they need to, yes,
because that adds urgency to your copy.
yes.
You give them a reason to do it by Thursday. Otherwise, it seems like an arbitrary date to them.
Yeah, it usually doesn't get done until
So then, if it doesn't
Sunday
get
morning.
done, oh, till Sunday
A
morning.
lot of half
half,
of them are
yeah.
doing it on Thursday when I send it out, but the other
It'd be
half.
better if they do them on Wednesday than on Sunday or Friday. Like if they were gonna do it not on Thursday, Thursday doesn't work for them. It'd be better for them to do it early than later.
Yeah. So Kathy, yeah, like he said, I
So
agree
that's a
with that.
problem we got to try to resolve.
So what if it goes out on Wednesday and it has to be done by Thursday? Then
I can send it out anytime you guys want.
I think if we send it
That's
out
not a
a day in advance and tell them that we have to have the reports by Thursday. So if you send it out on Wednesday,
Okay.
that gives them a day to get it filled out, and this way we can call them on Thursday morning and say, hey, we didn't see your thing submitted. So at least it gives them the rest of the whole day to get it turned in, so that at least they'll be ready for the leaders by that evening. So let's make the cutoff date time, like by 8 o'clock on Thursday, so the leaders can look at it. So they have time that night or the next morning to put their report together.
What if we make the cutoff whatever time Kathy wants to send out the report on Thursday? So what time it would be convenient for her that
Whatever's
she
good.
could.
Sure.
Well, no,
That's
I've
good
been
look.
sending it out at between 12 and 1 on Thursday, but now we're saying, and which is okay
Wednesday.
with me, I'll do it Wednesday night
Yes.
then. I can do it Wednesday
No, we're
night.
talking about Thursday for the follow up when you realize, hey, I see that you haven't filled this out. We need to have this by this deadline.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because, like, if you send one out on Wednesday and you give them, like, basically 24 hours, somewhere around there, and then, like, whatever the date is, like, right after that date, you could be like, hey, we saw that you have not submitted it by this
Right.
deadline.
Yeah,
And the leaders are going to be reviewing it tomorrow, so we need, like, it's something like that.
yeah,
Does that make more sense?
yeah.
And if there's a challenge with that, then
I can go in between 1 and 2 on Thursday and look to see who hasn't.
so then okay, that's good. So based on your schedule, if that works best, then we can give them a deadline to do it at Thursday at, you said 1 or 2, so at like 12.
Mhm.
Thursday at 12 would be their deadline to
Yeah.
submit.
Right. Then I'd make a point of going in on Thursday between 1 and 2, see who has, and to remind them.
That would work good
Okay.
for you?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
because that's what I've been doing on Friday between 12 and 1. Going in to remind them that they haven't done it yet, the weekend's coming. So I'll just do that on Thursday. Send it out Wednesday night. Go in
Wednesday
on
night, it doesn't give
Thursday.
them any time to fill it out. If you're sending out
It's a-
Wednesday night and it's due by noon the next day, that only gives them like, what, 12 hours max to get the whole report done?
Well, no, I would be sending it out, well, what do you suggest? What would you suggest?
No, I mean, I was listening to stuff. If we send it out that late in the evening,
Well-
If they don't open their mail until Thursday, it gives them 4 hours to get their report.
You're right. They don't open it.
And if they're
until-
busy in the morning, because a lot of people are busy trying to get off to work or trying to get their stuff done, it doesn't really give them a good window.
So, what, like after Wednesday afternoon, send it to them?
No, send it to them Wednesday morning so they have the whole day. So if they're missing it,
So they have a day and a half?
like, yeah, because you're receiving, yeah. I
Well,
would
why
think-
don't I send it out at 12 noon then on Wednesday?
Yeah,
If I send it out 12 noon, they can have it done. That's 24
they
hours.
can do it that night, which is perfect, yeah. And then if they're not nighttime people, they can do it in the morning. Because people have schedules that they work. Some people work
And
better.
people are in different time
Yes.
zones.
Yeah, and that too, both of
Yeah.
them. So it gives them at least a window to work with something.
So there's 24 hours. So
'Cause I
I'll
can do
send
mine
it
at
out
night.
Wednesday between
I can't do mine in the morning.
12,
Okay.
around 12 then.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then Kathy, I don't know who's taking notes, but Kathy needs to make sure that she lets them know that their team leaders will be putting together their report for their Friday report. Their team leaders will be putting their Friday report together.
Can,
Because that will need to go out.
can you say the exact phrasing that
Yeah.
would be good for
The
her
re-
to say?
Yes, the team leaders will be getting their Friday reports out. So let's see, put that in there and then we can add to it in the front of it.
Team leaders will be reviewing your report form.
And getting their reports out by Friday. By Friday, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she'll have to come to yours because she says, she lives in Rhode Island, something like that, which is in the States. Yeah, so. and
Kathy, thank you. You're doing an amazing job.
I saw it.
I just want you to know, since you've been doing this, texting people and sending stuff out, it has changed my life. It makes my life so much easier.
It's true, mine too.
I can't tell you thank you enough. I love it. I love what you
I
do.
usually get positive feedback from the volunteers
I
too.
believe it. I'm telling you, it really
And,
makes a
and
difference.
it's neat because now someone going, oh, I'm sorry you had to remind me, I forgot. And so they appreciate the reminders.
Isn't it funny how one little thing that we can change in the ministry changes the whole world?
Yeah, just one tweet just
Yeah.
transforms everything.
Praise the
Today
Lord.
is Wednesday. We're instigating this next week, the first of the month, right?
This very next meeting. Just so yeah, it would be the first month almost. Yes, yeah, this very next meeting. So this by Wednesday, you'll be sending this one out.
Because
This coming
today is
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'm asking, am I supposed to be sending this out today or by next Wednesday?
What do you guys think? You can send it out this week, but in-house, we have to know that it's probably not going to be perfect this first time. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We're exposing them to something new, so it's going to be probably the second.
So what we can do now.
The second reports will become more efficient. The first ones are always kind of
It's a good response.
good question. We also need to put on there for the Friday leaders that we need to send a reminder out for them. Don't forget to submit your report to Enoch by Sabbath morning. What time, Enoch, do you need to have yours by?
I'm still writing this.
Oh, sorry.
The reason why we need your report form by or before Thursday, 12 p.m. PST, is that after reviewing your report form, the team leaders will be submitting their report forms on Friday.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good? Like a good reason for them?
That's fine, yeah.
It does. It sounds like, yeah.
So that's a copy for Kathy.
Thank you. Praise the Lord. And I think for the leader ones, it can just be really short. Don't forget to
Yeah.
submit your Friday report for your team. You have to have the team on there. To Enoch by what time, Enoch, on Sabbath?
Friday. I really don't. I don't mind whatever time they do on Friday.
You want
So
them to submit it on Friday?
yeah, Friday.
So they have to get it on Friday, review it, and send it over to you on Friday? All of that?
No, they get it on Thursday.
I was thinking,
But look,
Okay, yeah. I see.
they have
So they have Thursday evening, and they get it
they
out
have
to you
like a
on
day and
Friday.
a half to submit theirs.
Okay, so anytime on Friday they can submit it to you. Okay.
But if we give them a deadline, then
We'll do it late because some people will run really late in the evenings. That's when the only time we can get stuff out.
but we
let
can't
me-
do it late on Friday because that's the Sabbath.
Okay.
So-
oh,
It has to be
right,
before
right, right.
sundown.
No, yep, that's true.
So on Wednesday at noon, I'm going to be sending out the weekly report forms and telling them that we need them by noon on Thursday. at 1 o'clock on Thursday, I'm gonna go see who did do it and who didn't, so I know who to send out the reminders to. And then that's where it ends for me, or I'm sending a report to the leaders to be sure and look at.
Well, I don't know. What we're talking about right now is when should the deadline be for the leaders to,
Those are all good questions, Kathy.
for the leaders to fill out their report form.
The deadline,
Yeah.
because Enoch is gonna be using those for Sunday's meeting.
Which I only needed by Saturday night. So the leaders is basically like Kamran, Rebecca, Tina, Diana.
Because some of these people we're gonna have to talk to.
Okay, because that's important to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebecca, yes. Kim,
The elder Brit.
Ken would be good. Yeah, definitely Ken.
So-
I'm going to have to
So,
I'm really hoping.
okay. So you want those in by Saturday night? No?
No, I want them in by Friday.
You want those in by Friday?
Friday night. Before Sabbath.
So they submit theirs by Thursday, and they have those in, okay.
If they don't do it by Sabbath, then they won't have it done by the time I'm going to read it. If they don't have it done by Friday night Sabbath, they won't have it done by when I review them Saturday night.
Okay, gotcha, because you review yours on Saturday night. Okay, gotcha. That makes a difference right there. Okay, so you do yours on Saturday night. Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to figure out.
That takes care of a lot right there, believe it or not. Okay, and then
What takes care of a lot?
just answering the time frame that you work on yours, it makes a difference. Okay, and so Kathy's question was really important. So when the report form goes out, does it go to everybody at the same time, and the leaders already know that they have to submit theirs on Friday? But what does their form look like?
I can help them get on Discord. because
Is their form a different reform, or is it the same
the
form?
leaders?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same form.
it's the same form. So
Yeah.
all the information that they get, because they're going to be reviewing all of their team, and so their review form, because it's a review that they're doing of everybody else's on their team. So when they submit that form, their report form, it's going to look like everybody else's form, and they're going to be able to put their information on that same form,
Yeah,
the same one. Okay,
yeah, with coaching.
good
Because
coaching. Okay.
with the team leaders, there's only like 4 of us or
That's
5
fine.
of us.
That's
So
fine.
I've got,
We
yeah,
just-
Diana, Kim, Rebecca, Tina, Kamran.
is there any other team leaders?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know, is Leah a team leader or not?
She doesn't have a team.
She doesn't have a team yet, okay, all right. Because that's what's important to know. Who are the leaders versus who are the volunteers?
Can you think of any team leaders?
only my school
I think you guys named them all.
Okay,
Okay.
alrighty. Because that's important for me to know.
Well, that's good.
So your team leaders are going to really have to know how to fill out their form, because they're going to have that information from all of their team. Some teams have 4 people on, some have 1 people on it, so that's not a big deal. But we're talking about a big picture here, kind of. So they're going to have to know how to read their forms from their team to incorporate all of that to put on their report with the same report form, and how to fill it out so that we understand what's going on with that department. I mean, that team.
Yeah, Kim, when she does it, she does a really good job. Kamran does a very good
It was
job.
very thorough.
And Tina she just needs to look through her account book as she does it, and she'll do a really good job when she does that.
Okay.
And you have an account book, so as long as you go over your account book as you fill it out, you should do fine, but I could give you some more training on that.
I probably do, because I'm using it as a personal guide, not as a ministry guide. I've been using it as a personal guide.
Okay.
I didn't know to use it for a ministry guide. I've been using it for my personal.
It's for everything.
Okay.
It's for all things. I use it for ministry, personal,
Okay.
anything. And then it's really just you and Rebecca who need more training. Tina just needs to follow the account book.
Okay. Do you have an area that you actually use for Army of Youth area, so you can go back and see it at a glance? Because if I had to read through mine, I have to read through so much stuff. I'm like, man, I could get lost. So do you just put AOY on the side and circle it and say this has to do with that, so you can come back and look at your notes really quick, fast, and see it really quickly, so you don't have to read through everything to try to figure out which are, because mine is all sporadic.
Well, I've been trained how to read, so I don't actually read through everything. I ditched those habits from grade school.
Good, I need to ditch them too.
Yeah.
That should be on all of our leadership table, not table, but checklist thing.
Yeah, the getting started checklist to learn how
Yeah.
to read properly.
Yeah, because that's,
Valuable.
I need to do that. Lord help me. I
So
need to do
good.
that.
It's just when you have a personal curriculum and you have it written, like what are the high priority things that are in your life that you're looking at possibilities which you could learn, and then you prioritize them, you stack rank, like this is the most biggest, causing the worst pain in my whole life, and I'm going to start here, I'm going to commit to this, finish it, and then move on to the next.
I'm so glad you said that, because you know what, when you get a big checklist like that, some people's mentality doesn't think that way. It's like, oh, I have to go with the first one, the second one, the third one.
Yeah. That's why checklists,
And then they burn out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I really am struggling over here, and they just keep on working this thing, and then they just stop. They're like,
And a lot of times people start to work on a to-do list on the easiest thing to mark off, and
I know that too.
that's a sure way to get burnt out and not get anything done. You're just spinning it in the mud.
I did that a few times.
Yeah. So that's why we have to look at the outcomes that we want to produce.
And you can move them around.
Yeah, prioritize.
You can grab hold and pull it up there, and now I know how to do that, and just put it at the top.
Easy. I do it all the time. But we have to prioritize our to-do list and once we're clear on the outcomes that we want of the day,
Yeah.
then we can get done like 40% of our checklist, but all of our outcomes, and we had a successful day. But before, if we were judging by the wrong measure, and we're like, oh, I only got 40% out of all my to-do list, I failed my day.
Yeah.
I'm a failure.
Or you don't strive very hard on it, because I haven't put really big ones on mine. I'm like, all of it's the same every day, pretty much. You know, I accomplished this, you know, but I don't see it as, you know, like, I don't know. Mine, I don't see that I can look at and say where I'm really growing in it, except for my thank you thing, you know, because I don't know how to use it correctly is all.
Yeah, it's
So
just
as
getting started.
Right. And hopefully as I'm learning these new tools, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to go back and use this as my tool.
Yeah,
As a tool, not just as a
right,
journal.
right.
Okay, so Kathy, so let's go back to that right now. So we just need to train our leaders how to read their reports from their team, so we can submit one report to Enoch.
The last thing we covered, we were at before we moved on, was Kathy was wondering at what time is the deadline for the leaders to fill out their report form.
And that was Friday night. Friday night. What time? Anytime Friday night. How about anytime Friday night? Because he's not going to read them until Saturday afternoon, so it doesn't really matter. Just Friday night.
Is Friday like Sabbath?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is Sabbath really
Gotcha.
a good target
No.
for people?
Yes, before Sabbath.
Yeah, just Friday before Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday before Sabbath.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will need to go to make sure on Friday, before Sabbath.
Work expands according to the time we allot it. So if people are waiting up until last minute, they need to review their team as well. And if they're thinking they're just going to be submitting their report form, at first it's probably going to take a little longer to review their team because they're not used to it. But
On Friday, any situation is different. Rebecca's and Kim's are going to be different. But around here, if anybody would try to schedule it for Friday before noon, they're going to, it's going to be easier to get it done before noon. Because their report should be in, they should already be able to look at it Thursday evening or Friday.
so
Because the later in the day that they try to schedule it,
yeah. So if we do it before noon for Kim and Rebecca, that still gives them 24 hours to review.
yeah, that's the main thing, giving them 24 hours.
So they can do it at any time before noon Thursday. I mean, after noon Thursday and before noon Friday. Yeah, we can try it that way.
So Diana better train herself to do that in the morning. I'm like, dude, my mornings are booked, man.
Your mornings are booked?
Oh, they're full. Some days I have to get up even super early just to get them done. Not that, it's just my personal life. It's like, dude, like this morning I started at 6. I barely could get here on time.
We could experiment with it.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do that.
But at least for the people in the house here, it would be good to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll put the reminder out.
Yeah.
on Friday morning, but we
We-
want it done by noon.
Yeah, we could do that by noon for Kim and Rebecca, or I could, well,
She needs to just sound out one, just
Okay.
so we don't, maybe we shouldn't put a deadline on, just say, have it in by.
no, we need a deadline.
How about if you just say before Sabbath, so.
But work expands according to the time you allot it. It's gonna take a little longer.
That's why I definitely, with the way it has been, sending it out on Thursday, making sure I remind them by noon on Friday, because they do let it go.
Well, they
So,
do.
and I send out individual. Of course, the
Okay.
team leaders are not that many
Right.
as the other ones, but on Thursday afternoon, I'm gonna be busy sending out reminders for anybody that hasn't filled it out.
So what works best for you? What's your
So
season?
Friday and noon is probably best.
Yeah,
Okay,
Friday noon.
Okay. let's do that.
Jade,
Okay, so we got that squared away.
Whoa, Carmen, did you put all the questions there? You are so fast. What a blessing.
Well, praise God.
Whoa.
like, no, when I look it up,
That's encouraging.
I'm following her on Instagram, so. Yeah, and then if you say like view page, it says
I don't
fairly.
know if I'm gonna get to all those, but.
That was the purpose of this meeting.
Yeah, it's
Oh, these ones he just added?
Yeah.
The account,
That's to make
account
them
book
consistent.
weekly review questions?
Yep. That's the reason why we got it
Okay,
again today.
Okay, so I'm not understanding.
That was on the outcome right here. It was the number one outcome of this meeting.
Is what?
Is one system integrated in all our locations. Those toggles are the locations.
Oh, these toggles are the locations?
Yep, that's where these questions are located. So we wanted a consistent format, and
You're
I was gonna say, because when I did the toggles earlier, I didn't see any of them. I opened
Praise
up all those
God.
toggles and I
yeah,
didn't see any of
he
them.
added them
Oh,
while,
okay.
while we were talking. But that's the location. This is why we gathered together. The number one
Oh,
outcome
so it
of this
wasn't
meeting.
to get the, to
It
make
was
sure
not
that,
to schedule the report form.
it wasn't to schedule the report form?
No,
But you
that
said
was
you're not
it.
changing any of the report form, so,
That was it. No. We are. We're
thought you
changing all of the questions. Well, in this, not like drastically, but what we're doing is instead of having a bunch of like, we're using 3 different systems that are asking the same question worded in 3 different ways. So instead of wording it in 3 different ways, we're wording it in one way in all those locations. Just one system across all the locations.
universal.
Can you share your
Yeah, so we're all following the same system. And these are the different locations where they're found.
so your guys' account book has a monthly review questions, it also has a weekly review questions?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
That's in the book, is that not correct?
That's in the book. Yes. And we want to update it.
Okay.
Because they're asking the same question, just worded differently.
Are you following her?
Okay. And see, that, I missed the whole purpose of this meeting, because I really thought the purpose was to get a pulse on the reports that are coming in so we can comprehend what's going on in each department. I thought that was the whole purpose. Okay.
Well, it says right there on number 1, this meeting's outcome at the top of the page.
Maybe she has to accept your follow first.
Wednesday, talk about having the weekly report form open.
No, this meeting
for-
outcome, it's bold.
I don't see it anywhere.
It says this meeting, I can make it header 1. You'll see it then.
This meeting outcome, okay, 1 hour. What
Number 1.
Okay. No system.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, and I can't even comment on it because I don't know what any of all those forms are. I've not even seen these forms. Some of them I haven't even seen.
You follow the debriefing every week.
The debriefing
And the report
only.
form you fill out every
And that
week in the
one, but not
account
the
book.
other ones. I haven't done the account.
You haven't
book.
done the account book, and that's okay.
And
but-
I haven't.
All the other forms that you've seen, that's what we use. But it's okay.
Okay.
We got number 2 done,
Okay.
and we got number 3 done,
Good.
and number 1 and 4 is basically the same thing.
Okay,
So-
so let's go through them real quick. Do we got time? No, we don't.
No, we don't. The bell just
Okay.
rang. But we got over half of it, the thing's done.
Okay.
So that we made serious progress, which is very good. And Carmen put them all in one place, which is extremely helpful. That was boggling my mind for like 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, trying to get all those things in one place. It was really helpful, brother.
So if I wanted to send this to me, I would do where would I go to do the at? I want to send this page to me so I can remind myself. Because if I put it on my project board, I might not see it right now.
I don't understand your question.
This page right here, I want to go back and look at our report forms because it's all right here. All this information since we're getting ready to be done. I want to go back and look at the squad leader weekly and the account book and the account book. I want to look at all these questions. Not now, of course, but I want to figure out where to put this page so I can remember.
Oh, on your
If I
daily
close
dashboard.
it- Oh.
On your daily dashboard, that's where you put stuff like that. Good question.
Okay, my daily dashboard. Okay, so do I do control at and see? And now it takes me off the page, so that it's not that.
You do
So-
control P. Oh yeah, yeah. On daily dashboard.
Yeah, I think I just lost it. Oh no, I didn't move the page. Okay, yeah, I want to put this on my daily dashboard, so I do control P, right?
Yeah.
Control P. Do I do at now? Okay, I'll try it. At. Says no results found. So I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get it to my board. Conrad, do you know how I get it to my board?
Did you copy the title of our
Copy it first?
conversation?
Okay,
Yeah, if you copy the title of our conversation,
okay.
then you go to the daily dashboard.
I don't know how to do any of that stuff you're talking about.
All right.
So
Well,
close this page. How will I ever find it again? If I close it, I'll never find it.
I'm not
again.
telling you to close it.
Well, then how do I get there?
Oh, you
I mean,
hold
I'm
control,
okay. I have the project board up here opened on my top page.
and it's called Diana Enoch Comron.
Yeah, and I also have my project board open on one of my tabs. With the
Well,
top.
what if we pray and let everybody go, and then
Okay.
I could show you that.
Sure. Okay.
Dear Father in heaven, thank you for the progress that we made. Thank you for revealing to us how we can move forward and creating this cascading communication so that leaders can have a system for which they keep in contact with each other. Father, I pray that you will help us, give us wisdom beyond our natural ability, and be with our thoughts and our feelings, our expectations, and our state of mind. Help us to think your thoughts, feel your feelings, and reflect your character fully. Be with us this day as we go throughout the next portion of the day. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. I'm
Praise
gonna
the
try
Lord.
this. Let me see if I can do this.
So did you copy the title?
I did once.